Victor Gyökeres makes a decision on his future amid links to Arsenal and Chelsea. Meanwhile, Ian Wright has highlighted a new issue involving Kai Havertz at Arsenal, raising concerns about his future. To top it off, Arsenal fans are all saying the same thing after watching Erling Haaland's latest performance for Manchester City. Stay with me until the end of the video to check out the latest Arsenal news straight from the Emirates Stadium. But before that, if you're as passionate about Arsenal as we are, don't waste any time and subscribe to our channel right now to stay updated on everything happening with the greatest team in the Premier League. And without further ado, let's dive into today's top news. Since his move from Coventry City to Sporting CP in 2023, Victor Gyökeres has been frequently linked with Arsenal and Chelsea, thanks to his impressive goal-scoring prowess. Scouts from both clubs likely took note when Gyökeres dismantled Manchester City in a Champions League match on Tuesday, netting a hat trick in a decisive 4-1 victory. The 26-year-old Swedish forward has now reached an impressive 23 goals this season, managing this milestone in only 17 appearances. Gyökeres' goal-scoring form over the past 3 seasons has been outstanding, cementing his status as one of the most sought-after strikers in Europe today. Sporting willing to accept bid lower than Victor Gyökeres' release clause. After his latest impressive display on Europe's biggest stage, Victor Gyökeres is well aware of the growing interest in him from both the Premier League and other elite European clubs. Last summer, he chose to join Sporting, believing it to be his best stepping stone after leaving Coventry. Originally, the plan was for Gyökeres to make a move to Serie A next, before eventually heading back to England. However, given his exceptional form, the Swedish international now seems set on a trajectory that could see him joining a Premier League team as soon as 2025. It's worth noting that Gyökeres was previously with Brighton until 2021, though he didn't get a real opportunity to shine under Graham Potter. Interestingly, his exit from Brighton was handled by Dan Ashworth, who is now at Manchester United, one of the clubs rumored to be closely monitoring the Swedish striker. As previously reported, Arsenal and Chelsea have their eyes on Gyökeres, with Liverpool and Newcastle also keeping close tabs on the striker. Paris Saint-Germain and Juventus have shown interest as well, but sources close to Gyökeres feel confident that a return to England in 2025 is highly likely. Gyökeres has a release clause of approximately 100 million euros, 83 million pounds, though it's expected that Sporting might agree to a deal closer to 70 million pounds next summer. Speaking after Gyökeres' hat trick against Man City, new United manager Ruben Amorim refused to encourage links between the striker and his new club out of his respect for Sporting. Amorim said, "I've just made peace with them. I'm not even going to joke about it. Victor is a Sporting player. Sporting is a great club. They did a lot for him, and he has to stay and finish the season." As an Arsenal fan, it's frustrating to see how the club has wasted incredible opportunities in the transfer market. Victor Gyökeres is the type of player who could be wearing our jersey right now, bringing the strength our attack lacks. He's already shown what he's capable of in the Champions League against Manchester City, a hat trick that dismantled the defense of one of the best teams in the world. And where was Arsenal in all this? We spent the last transfer window watching from afar, with Edu Gaspar seemingly asleep at the wheel. It's hard to accept that other Premier League clubs like Chelsea and Liverpool are now making moves to sign him, while Arsenal had the chance to bring him in earlier and simply didn't act. If we're talking about an ambitious plan to win titles, we can't ignore talents like Gyökeres, especially with his transfer value increasing with each game. Now, instead of bringing in a powerful addition who would undoubtedly fit well into the team, all we can do is hope he doesn't end up with one of our direct rivals. This isn't an isolated case, it's a painful reminder of how much we need more proactive sports management. Ian Wright has now spotted a new problem with Kai Havertz at Arsenal. Mikel Arteta appears to have wrapped up his experiment of using the German in a number 8 role, opting to stick with it only when multiple players are unavailable, a move that has allowed Havertz to truly excel. Gradually, the 25-year-old has evolved into a true number 9 for Arsenal. Contrary to expectations from his time at Bayer Leverkusen and Chelsea, he's not just a false 9, but has taken on the role as a full-fledged striker. As he demonstrated for Germany at Euros, Havertz has become a typical number 9, someone who can hold up the ball, get in behind, and also score goals. That being said, when speaking on the Righty's House podcast, Ian Wright thought Havertz was dropping deeper during the recent defeat to Newcastle United, something he didn't like. Wright wanted to see Havertz back up there being a focal point for Arsenal, which would also lend to more creativity across attacking positions. He said, "You know what I didn't like? I want to have Havertz back where he is." is. I want to have Havertz back up there, being that focal point and the nuisance and the link, and the fact that he's in and around the box a lot more. He's playing out there, out in that false nine. I'm just not feeling that. Marino is still trying to find his feet. We seem very robust and strong in there, but the creativity is lacking. Kai Havertz will benefit from Martin Odegaard injury return. Recently, Micah Richards highlighted how much Bukayo Saka has missed Martin Odegaard during his timeout with injury. Without Odegaard, opponents have been free to double or even triple mark Saka without the risk of leaving too much space for Odegaard nearby. With Havertz dropping deeper to try and spark some creativity in the game against Newcastle, he too will benefit from Odegaard's return to fitness. Arsenal has really felt the absence of their captain, who doesn't have a clear substitute in the squad aside from 17-year-old Ethan Nwaneri as a potential option. It's been a challenging stretch for the Gunners, but they'll be hoping to recover momentum soon. Arsenal fans all say the same thing after seeing what Erling Haaland has just done for Man City. Erling Haaland has quickly become a bit of a villain in the eyes of Arsenal fans over the past few months. The rivalry between Arsenal and Manchester City has really heated up, and it's obvious that the Gunners are starting to get under City's skin. After the intense 2-2 draw at the Etihad Stadium earlier this season, several City players took shots at Arsenal's approach, especially after City went down to 10 men. Haaland grabbed the headlines by telling Arteta to stay humble after the match, a jab that felt unnecessary, especially coming from a player who's watching Arsenal get closer to challenging City for the title. Since then, Haaland's form has noticeably dipped, and things didn't improve for him in the Champions League on Tuesday against Sporting Lisbon. City faced a rough 4-1 loss in Portugal, and Haaland even missed a penalty. Now, Arsenal fans are throwing his own words back at him, telling him to stay humble. Arsenal fans send a message to Erling Haaland after his penalty miss in the Champions League. Haaland was very wrong to have a go at Arteta after the game at the Etihad. The Arsenal manager did absolutely nothing to him. Football, as we know, is a funny game, and after Haaland told Arteta to be humble, he is the one being humbled now. One Arsenal fan tweeted, "Haaland has not been the same since he told Arteta to be humble. 3 losses in a row." Haaland kicked off the season in incredible form. The ex-Dortmund star racked up 10 goals in his first 5 Premier League matches. A truly impressive feat, but ever since he told Arteta to stay humble, his performance in the league has dipped significantly. In his last 5 games, he's managed just 1 goal, and even that was against Southampton, a team struggling at the bottom of the table. Since making those comments to Arteta, Haaland hasn't quite looked like the same player, and you can bet Arsenal fans won't let him forget it, especially whenever he has an off game. Maybe this will teach him a thing or two about staying humble going forward. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.